All right. Good to see everybody. Thursday for us, Wednesday for you. Off we go.
Mike, I'm curious, how much of a difference does it make for the personnel that's on offense versus where they line up? Like if you have a receiver in the backfield versus different personnel packages.
Yeah, it's week to week, who you're playing, what defense you're in. Kind of depends. What world are you in on defense, and then how do you account for who's out there? So if you're in some sort of man idea, normally you're trying to find your guy. If you're not, normally you're going off of some sort of account, and then how you account for those things. So, and San Francisco does a great job with putting guys in weird spots and making sure you understand where everybody is.
The last two games, your third down conversion, we've talked about the third and longs, but just third down overall has been over 45%. What have you seen either in communication, personnel, execution in those situations?
I think it's just one of those examples of us just staying the course and just chiseling away at it, and really everybody playing good football, and that's what we've gotten. So, the challenge is keep it rolling and understand what the next iteration is of what we're trying to achieve and how they're trying to attack us, and off we go. Today we'll be doing some third down stuff out there, and be excited to see how it looks.
We've talked about kind of the progression of defense from week one until now. Offense was talking about how they progressed. At what point could you truly start playing that complementary style football that you envisioned on both sides?
Well, I felt like we were on our way as soon as training camp, OTAs. I felt like we were forging an identity in really all three phases, and when you're doing it against another team, that's kind of a reassuring sign. And then just what you see every day. It's not like we got to week 4 and we're like, oh shoot, now we're going to be a complementary team. No, I think it's something that we've been seeing signs of really since the beginning of the season or beginning of the spring.
When you're playing a team that, like an offense that does such a good job of setting guys up for yards after the catch, and the pass catchers do that so well, are the teaching points about tackling any different than they are in any other week?
Well, I'd say it's kind of like a principles methods thing. Like the principles are the same. I mean, they're probably the best run after catch team in the league. I don't know how the stats back that up, but it feels like perennially that's the case with this offense. So it's a really big emphasis on making sure that we're having multiple people breaking when the ball has declared. So try to eliminate as many one-on-one tackles as possible. Goes back to eliminating space. So all those principles are at play with these guys.
Seems like you did a pretty good job of that in the Week 18 game.
The guys did a great job. They really did. There's some plays where guys were in tough spots, but guys were playing with great effort. And when you do that, you can take some of those more aggressive angles to eliminate some of that space. And the guys did a great job of that.
Every coach wants pats to the ball and pursuit to the ball. Every coach in the history of football says that. Yeah. Why are these guys doing it maybe more than other teams you've coached?
I think it's probably a byproduct of their connectedness and the process that they bought in on, and it's team football. It's really what it is at the end of the day. And if they decide they want to play that way, then that's the standard, and that's something that you're chasing every day. And it's nice when it's not just AD or me or CP, just run to the ball. It's like, no, it's a team thing that we're trying to achieve every day, and they understand, the power of that too, and that, the synergy behind it.
Do you count hats on the film and stop the film and say, here's 9, here's 10?
No, we're looking for a feeling. I mean, not everybody plays the same. I think it's unrealistic to say that you need X amount of people to the ball, but it's really have a feeling of that we're there. Yep.
When you have a nickel corner who's as big or bigger than some of the linebackers out there, what makes him nickel versus a linebacker? How the responsibilities differ?
Some of the coverage response, some of the things you're going to ask Nick to do are a little different than you'd ask a linebacker to do. But in terms of how you manage your roster, I mean, really he's playing a linebacker position. I mean, we're really kind of turned into a 4-3 base team with a crazy athletic Sam is really what we are. When we go to dime, we're really, a nickel 4-3 team. I think that the cool thing that our front allows us to do and what Nick allows us to do is we get some front variety that normally you wouldn't get out of a normal, like a true, like 4-down team. And I think that's been pretty cool that what we've been able to create.
When you have two of maybe the best nickel defenders in football on the same defense, what kind of freedom does that give you as a play caller?
Well, I actually think we've been freed up more with Spoon's development at corner, where he felt like he can. I mean, I know that, like, he doesn't have a lot of stats at corner, but he's playing great football out there, and so you don't feel like his competitive advantage of where he's playing is that different. So that's probably the first thing, but. Two great players, man. Two great players in the slot. And, you know, like on first down, you know, obviously you want Nick in there for run fits and things like that. And Spoon's great at those stuff, but he's also great on the outside.
For the first time in 5-6 years that 12s have been able to see a playoff game at that stadium. How exciting is it to give that to them, and how exciting is it to think about what that atmosphere is going to be like? Yeah,
it's one of those things where I think we're proud of it. We're proud of being able to deliver this to the 12s and to our city. We're excited about it, you know, but it also is like in the future, you know. So like right now it's on our minds, but really we're focusing on doing the proper preparation so we're ready to go. But it's great, man. It's awesome. I mean, it's not like one of your absolute goals throughout the year. Like, this isn't having a home playoff game doesn't guarantee a championship or all those things that you're really shooting for, but it really is part of the things that we do want to, you know, achieve or deliver, you know, to our fans, is having these home playoff experiences, and it's part of the the overall bigger vision of what we're trying to create. So, you know, definitely proud of that, and you know, we expect to, you know, do it a lot, hopefully.
Is there anything particularly challenging about seeing a team for a third time, and then also about seeing them in back-to-back weeks?
Well, I think the timetable probably drives that answer a little bit. You know, having played these guys the first week, having such a big break between the, you know, on the bookends of the season, you're really looking at it through the lens of like, you know, how much do you can discount some of the, you know, we've changed a lot since first week, so they probably more of the back-to-back thing that just doesn't happen that often. So, but don't make it more than it is. I mean, it was the last game. This is another game, and trying to keep our process the same.
How have Charles and Coby looked to you since getting back out on the field?
Yeah, you know, there's a process of them getting back and getting in full swing, and they're doing the best they can. They're practicing in some capacity, and you know, we'll work through it the rest of the week, but the guys are doing a good job.
Talk about that process. This is your first time doing this as a head coach. What, if anything, feels different about this week, knowing, you know, what's ahead of you?
Yeah, this is how do I put this? This is the message, right? It's the playoffs, but this is week 19. This is week 19. This is the 19th week of the season for us. I think that's right. You know, week 19, and it's Thursday. So I'm thinking about how we're going to play the red zone today, and some of the early down stuff we got to fix from yesterday, and how third down game plan looks in all phases. And that's what I expect our team to be thinking about, is what can we accomplish right now within our power to get ready for our week 19 game. You know, you start making it bigger, and you start including all the other stuff out there that takes you away from how we want to play and how we want to operate. So, you know, that's how we approach it.
For coaches who really know the X's and O's, but maybe are struggling to figure out how to teach that to their players and really convey their scheme and their idea, their vision, what advice would you give coaches coming up in that way?
Need reps. You got to put yourself out there. And there's a lot of meetings in my past where it's not very good coaching. I still have meetings now where you leave the meeting and you're like, shoot, that wasn't good enough. You know, I could have taught that better. So just keep attacking it, and don't be afraid to fail. You know, and then just come back at it. And it's like that chasing edges attitude is, you know, just keep trying to make those incremental games to make it better. You know, but ultimately, the satisfaction, what makes coaching so great is you get to see other people do things they weren't able to do prior. So that's the reward. It's not how much you know, it's how much you can get your guys to do.
We've asked you a few times this year about kind of the path Rick Woolen's season has taken from week 1 to the way he's playing now.
Yep.
What do you learn about a player, the way they handle that adversity in season and kind of respond to it?
I think this is, I think those are kind of expectations you have for your guys, and that's how we want to handle those situations. And sometimes it's, it comes different ways, and guys have different ways of reacting to it. But that's kind of the types of guys we want around here, and Reek's one of those guys. So he's done a great job.
Is there a danger of overthinking, and I don't mean because it's a playoff game, but because of the different looks that the Niners could give you on offense, or where they're lining up on defense, with your players in particular?
Oh, well, for me, yeah. But that's every week. I mean, I'm overthinking everything. Like right now, I'm thinking about your question, but I'm thinking about other stuff too. Like, I'm an overthinker. That's going to happen. It's also kind of like our job as coaches to make sure we're thorough. But with our players, I mean, again, is there a danger of guys overthinking things in a game plan? Yeah, that could happen. I mean, but that's part of one of the reasons on why we build our game plans the way we do. We want them really clear. We want them simple. Make it as simple as possible, but no simpler. And let's go rock and roll. So if we're sensing indecision throughout the week, then probably not going to call that play. It's probably going to be out.
You joke about being an overthinker, but have you had any experiences where an observation you've had the day of the game, the night before the game, has actually been helpful?
It's fine. I see Leo back there. I mean, we've installed stuff on Saturday night and Sunday morning, halftime, sideline. Yeah, it happens all the time.
Is DeMarcus Lawrence okay?
Yeah. He's the Achilles is something that he's had. It's kind of not a new thing. It's just something we're managing.
You're not worried about not having him Saturday?
No.
Ricky Pearsall didn't play the last game for them. How different do they look with him in there? What kind of skill does he bring to the game if he's out there?
Well, they have a lot of talented receivers, but he's definitely one of them, and he definitely complements the rest of the guys well in terms of what he does in his skill set and how they use him. So, but the other guys that are playing for him as well, I mean, are really good players you have to account for. So it's not like he's a great player, but it's not like it's worse offense when he's not out there.
Mike, going back to the red zone, good red zone defense, what are some of those intangibles in terms of alignment, physicality, communication, and feel?
Talking about red zone?
Yeah, red zone defense.
Yeah, it starts with the mentality. Like, there's never been a drive on defense that ends up in the red zone, and you're happy about why it got there. So it's a mentality of, hey, look, drive's not over. We're defending a blade of grass, and we got to reset and go to the next play. Field shrinks, so we got to eliminate run game, pass game changes. So it's really just understanding situations, what the formations are telling you, what the tendencies are telling you, and going to play ball. But it starts with the mentality that, drive's not over. We gotta go play football.
You mentioned feel a couple of times, or at least I've heard that. How do you teach that? Is it
Feel?
Yeah, you've talked about the feel of play, or feel players are at the point of attack. How do you teach that? Or
Well, I don't think. I think what we're trying to achieve is how we play football as a team. And when you see it enough, you get it. It kind of feels, what it feels like when you're watching it. Something as simple as we just had a great walkthrough. I felt like we had a great walkthrough. I haven't watched it yet, but I feel like it was a great walkthrough because of the intent and the communication, and guys were loose and focused, and it was kind of right on the sweet spot of what we're shooting for in terms of what a walkthrough wants to look like. So we have a vision about how we want our red zone defense to look like, So, and when we're hitting that mark, that's when you feel that.
Back to Witherspoon, Julian Love says he's probably your favorite player. Witherspoon's probably your favorite player. What is
Say that one more time.
Julian Love thinks that Witherspoon's your favorite player.
Oh.
That's what he told us. You're playing favorites there, I guess. What is it about him that makes it so attractive for a coach?
Talking about Spoon?
Yeah.
I could go on for a long time, but it starts with his passion for the game and the process. I think I think he loves his teammates. He loves his team. So there's not, there's a selflessness behind what he does as well. And like, he's an incredible competitor, and that comes out with like the standard of what he expects from himself and the rest of the team. So, I mean, he's a big, great, fun-loving personality, but at the end of the day, he expects us to play great football, and his actions back that up, you know. And so that's contagious in how he plays. You can't turn our tape on and watch 21 play and have any inkling of an idea that it's okay to not play with your hair on fire 1,000 miles an hour every play. So, and he's incredibly smart too. Like, you can do, he gets it. He sees things. He's reactive. He's inquisitive. He cares about it. He wants to learn. I mean, sounds like a guy you want to coach.
Was it an intended consequence that when you put him and Worry in the roles you have, that Witherspoon would go back outside and be more of a corner? Is that kind of evolved?
Well, yeah, our vision for Nick on early downs was to play nickel, and the byproduct of that was Spoon going outside, and by doing that, he's going to get a lot of reps outside, you know, probably threefold more than he got last year, and I think his play reflects that. But it's the same attitude that he's just going to keep chipping away at it until he becomes great at that skill set, and I think that's what he's done.
You said he's grown in terms of the outside stuff. Like, what are some specifics you've seen there?
Just playing it, like, just technique, you know, your day-to-day, what it takes to play outside corner, you know. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking anything specifically.
You use the phrase loose and focused. That's one we hear from you, from players a lot. Like,
Yeah.
For you as a head coach, where's kind of finding the balance there of like, okay, we got to be serious and get the football stuff done versus letting them have a little fun with it too?
Yeah, we got to be us. I mean, it's just, you know, think about how would you want your experience to be at work? Like, do you want to walk around all rigid, afraid that you're going to get yelled at about because you're not walking in the right direction, or you said the wrong thing, or don't you want, you know, hey, I meant the right, you know, my intent is right, you know, so work with me. That's what we expect from our players and our coaches, for that matter. And then let's enjoy each other, you know, let's get after it. And then you're not like hunting for fun. You're hunting for the process and the feeling of what you do. And then the byproduct of that is fun. Now it is fun now to go to work every day because of how we operate. It wasn't necessarily fun last May, you know, but now it is.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you.